And we're good to start. And I will say hi, everyone. I'm very happy to meet you here today on our developer community webinar series. And today we are having Dmitriy Maslennikov from CaretDev company, who is CTO of CaretDev and also known as moderator of developer community and author of different applications on Open Exchange. And of course, also CaretDev is known as a company which produces VSCode ObjectScript. And today we have a topic GitHub Development Flow with VSCode ObjectScript and Docker, and myself and Irina will help today to manage this webinar. And actually, you feel free to ask questions in a chat. So we have a chat here, and we will let Dmitry to have his webinar and presentation. After that, you're very welcome with all your questions, and we can speak it in loud and discuss all the topics we have in webinar. So, Dmitry, please go ahead with your presentations and your hot topic, which attracted a lot of people today.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Dmitriy Maslennikov, as you already heard. I'm CTO and co-founder at CaretDev. Also as a moderator and developer advocate. So today I'm going to speak about VSCode again, but about how to use it with GitHub and Git. So GitHub Flow with VS Code and with Docker for sure. So agenda like this, many words, but
we don't see your agenda, so we see whiteboard, Dmitry.
Oh, sorry, how it happened?
So we see some whiteboard here.
Yep,
that's fine.
Okay, many words, but we're going to be simpler today. So GitHub Flow, it's just some kind of DevOps. So everything is there. You can code, you can test it, deploy, so on. Go next. Next. GitHub Flow on this picture, it's very simple. But it can be a bit more complex. Like you can, when you have to create have to develop new feature, you just have to create a new branch, or if you're going to work with some other project where you don't have any write permission, you can create a fork. And there also branch, why not? Best practice. Do some changes through commits. Push them to the server, to Git. Open pull request from your branch or from your fork and branch to the main repository, to master branch. Somewhere on the site of master branch, maintainers or your colleagues review your changes, may say some words if you did something not expected or so on. They can request some changes, give some recommendation, Then during the pull request, you can test automatically deploy, and then your colleagues or maintainers can merge your pull request to the master branch. So very simple, just development. For local development environment, you need Git, VSCode ObjectScript, Docker. Yeah, we are going to work with InterSystems IRIS for sure. And you can use for development linters like ObjectScript quality by light solutions. Testing. In every project, it's best practice to run unit tests. Unit tests for your ObjectScript code. You can run it locally, or and these tests should also run by CI, so you don't forget about that you broke something, but you didn't test it locally. So any tests will be automatically run on CI. Linters, you can use it locally from VSCode ObjectScript, from VSCode with extensions with your server locally in your environment and company, or also with CI. Just recently, ObjectScript quality introduced open source projects workflow for CI as well. Staging environments very useful when you deploy your changes on some server locally or on your company cloud or globally on cloud. So not only you, but your colleagues or testers can test and see what's done and approve. In this case, useful tools such as GitHub Actions, which is CI from GitHub, or GitLab CI/CD, SonarQube with ObjectScript quality, or Jenkins, also CI tool. For deploy, it's difficult to discuss today about deploy. I just give some words. The same tools for CI can be used to deploy your application. You can deploy it anywhere with Kubernetes, just in your local servers, in company, to AWS, AWS, or Google Cloud. Anyways, you can find some few articles about how to deploy your IRIS application on developer community. There are few examples in open source repositories on GitHub where some IRIS services, IRIS-based services already deployed with Kubernetes in Google and some other services. So, go to demo. Today, I'm going to show the full cycle of full flow with GitHub and with IRIS. InterSystems have quite good example of simple application based on IRIS with REST, with web. It's a coffee maker application used mentioned in learning, in documentation. I just a bit Dockerized it, so it can run in Docker environment. So Alpha Maker project. Let's think that we have new developer who have a task that to fix a tests issue with project. In our project, we have CI, configured CI, which tests our application. And we see that our latest commit failed. So something wrong with our application. Some tests failed. We can go to details and see that, yeah, our tests failed. We can see log from unit tests. So our developers should fix it. So how to do it? It's IRIS. Developer don't have it locally. It's just new developer. How to start it? First of all, he can fork it to be able to edit it. So let's fork it from me. So moment. We have to clone it to have it locally. Have VSCode, open it already, prepare it, go to commands, git clone this URL from GitHub, and we have to save it to our machine, and let's open it here. So we have the source code of this project locally. Oh, very fast. So how to run it? It have Docker Compose, as we can see. So it just build our application based on IRIS. Insert, copy our project source code and install it, do some stuff. Pretty simple. So we can run it from here. You can see it's already cached, so it's just built so fast, but it can do slower if you do it just the first time. So we have a running instance. We can see that we already inside of our IRIS instance, inside of our coffee namespace, it's for this application namespace. How we could configure it to work with it? It also have configuration about our namespace, knows about it. It uses Docker Compose configuration to get access to our IRIS instance in Docker. And one more thing, it's linked to our application. Let's run it. It should be here. Make. Oops, doesn't work. as expected. Let's restart it. So, few more notes about well, it's starting. About continuous integration. And about GitHub actions. So it's a continuous integrations from GitHub. It's done by this small file. It reacts on when we push changes to Git to branch master, and it ignores if you just change it MD files. We don't need to react on text files changed. Or it can react on pull requests to the master. So it just ignores any changes in any other branches, but when you create pull request to master branch, it should check it. It works with Docker, so it just need Ubuntu latest. Here it can be Windows or macOS, but in our case, when we use just Docker, it should be Ubuntu latest. It's few steps, just git checkout, just clones repository and get the code, build our Docker image and run our unit tests in this Docker image. It uses test entry point helper living here. Just quite simple, just start IRIS, run unit tests, check log, save running unit test into log and looking for all past tests. Okay, let's go to our application. Yeah, our application working. It's okay. But we have to check our unit test to fix. Let's go to unit test. We here see our tests folder. So where our unit tests live. And we can see here our test method where our tests live. And we see that, okay, let's go to unit test. We can check where which test failed. So to be sure we're fixing right. Let's see. Okay. Build tests. Failed. Yeah, shouldn't save due to empty required fields. Okay, let's go to code. So it's trying to save our just created coffee maker object, but test expects that save shouldn't be okay, but in our case looks like it's okay. So we just have to fix it. So go to the code. You can go to the code right here. Very good. Okay, we come back. Which fields we have to require? Looks like it should be name and brand. Okay, let's make them required. And save. Okay. Look, let's compile it. And we can run this test. from VSCode inside. Okay. Demo. Yes. Yeah, and we can see it's all passed. So we fix it. Make sure you can return back. Oh, oh. Yeah, it's failed. Now fix. Okay, we did some changes. We fixed it. We can go to source control view, and it shows that we just did changes in the file, and we can see it here as well. What we changed it shows this blue sign that we changed these lines. Okay, we can. I forgot one more thing. I forgot that our developer got a task through the issues. Oh, no, issues here. Okay. No. Actually, we can also have issue tracker here. I just don't wait a bit. And through the pull request, it's possible to close issue. And we can refer to this issue to be closed just right after when our changes will be. And we say here, it fields, and we can say close task to committed and push to server. So I will change this on the server and go to my repository, and you can see this our commit and offers to create pull request to push send our changes to the original repo. So we can here see commit and changes done there, and it offers to pull changes from CaretDev to CaretDev maker from Daemon, from my repository. So let's create. Okay, the same. And so we now have a pull request created. Let's see what we can see here. Commits tab shows the list of commits available in this pull request. Files changed from all commits, just from solid for this pull request. if you change it some files from one commit to another commit. So it's just merge all changes as one change. And we can see here one more interesting tab. It's a checks. Here goes from our CI workflow task, which shows that our changes check it because it's configured in our repository. And it now builds our IRIS instance and tests. Hopefully it will go well. We fixed it, so it should be good. Okay, we see all passed. And green check mark here. And we see here that all checks passed. And you actually can configure it as complex as you would like. There are many tasks, ways how to do it. You can test it at the same time. You can test this project for Iris, for Cache, for different versions of Iris, or so on, like for Iris and for Iris for Health. You can also add here Sonar cache quality linter. It's now configured only for, it also configured, I'll show later. So now we have pull requests which can be reviewed. Your colleagues can say, okay, I would like to see some changes here, and write a comment, or even suggest some changes, like say, maybe it should be something else here, or like calculate it, and it will show your suggestion. You can approve it. Pull request owner author can approve it and use this code, this suggestion. So it's very useful tool. Okay. And let's merge it. We think it's okay. Okay. And we can see that our task, our issue was closed as well, because we merged pull request, which is referred to. So it's very useful for for teams of developers to have everything in one place. And with support of ObjectScript, did you see that GitHub also supports ObjectScript? So you can see highlighted code here, and it recognizes it as ObjectScript. And one more thing that here also included ObjectScript quality. It done through another workflow file. It's here, just very simple. Just execute from the script. And let's go to ObjectScript quality view. We have here this project. Update it. Yeah. No new bugs. Everything is okay, almost. It shows that we have few issues here. Let's go. Yeah, it shows something. Test name, never used. Yeah, it's okay. So you can use all of those tools with GitHub Flow. Okay. As a company, CaretDev, we offer VSCode ObjectScript courses where you can get more about how to use it. You can order courses on our site or just send us email to courses@caretdev.com. If you have any questions about if you would like to have more courses, more knowledge. Some useful links from us about VSCode ObjectScript, about our courses, our services from CaretDev. And as you already know, InterSystems join this project of VSCode ObjectScript. I've already mentioned by me previously, by Rajsin. So, go to questions.
Dmitry, thank you very much. Very interesting presentation. So, colleagues, you're very welcome to have to introduce your questions into chat, or maybe you want to say it in loud. So just we are having questions time, and actually, while there are no any new questions, so I have a question, Dmitry. So when I'm curious, when you submitted this pull request to the original repository, I see that it triggered the CI stage, which tried to go through tests. And the first question is, as we noticed that the CI tool starts IRIS, it does some activity. Actually, where is it going on, and who does it? So is it free feature? So it's maybe it's obviously some resources involved. How is it going on?
This feature. This feature goes from GitHub. It's for free. It runs on actually it runs on Azure's servers, and you have a limited time for. It's not completely for free. It's just a bit limited. But for quite small projects, maybe enough. You can also configure oven runners on your oven servers if you just would like to have unlimited time, or just don't want to make to build your project nowhere. Just wants some control over it. So you can use one way. It's a GitHub Actions. Yeah. Live here.
So it's free until you meet any limitations on this scale, right?
It's limited by time of build. Just I think that just about 2,000 minutes per month, I think, or something like this.
Mm-hmm. Got you. And also, could you please maybe highlight, I missed this, where do you point that we run these tests in the workflow? So you showed it, maybe some workflow file, right? So, but on a pull request.
Yeah, it's a such workflow files described here in .github folder workflows. Here, just YAML file, which describes what to do. This file can be much more complex if you like. In this case, we have a part as a web application which can have oven builders, oven linters, oven testers. It can also be edited here, so we can build it separately and test it separately as we would like. It depends on how complex is your project.
And as I see, you map as a volumes the folder of tests folder from the repository into Docker on GitHub, say, yeah. And then you also use some entry point shell script. Yes, could you please show what it does?
It's just we built our application, just our IRIS with our application. And what we need now is just run unit tests there. So we just mount our tests folder inside of our container. Say that our working folder is opt_coffee. And also mount our script which run tests inside container, and say that this script supposed to be entry point, because when you run Docker container, it needs some entry point. By default, Iris container uses entry point as Iris main, which just runs Iris. We don't need just run Iris. We have to run Iris and run our tests and exit. So we have this script, and this script lives here, and we here start our Iris, execute our code through the Iris session, and just run our tests, and our outputs everything to the temporary log, and we looking there for words or paths. If we found it, everything is okay. If not, it's failed, so we just exit one to say our CI environment that something went wrong, our test failed.
Thank you for the explanations, very clear. Irina, do we have any questions?
No, I don't have. I just want to say, if someone want to ask question, you can unmute yourself or push the button, raise up the hand. So please feel free to ask any questions.
Yes, you're very welcome. So I just want to say that I find this GitHub Actions CI tool very handy. So if you host your repositories on GitHub, it's really a great feature to benefit from. So at least it's free resource which runs your CI scenarios on a GitHub site for free. It's good to have something for free, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and now you can, with this approach, with this way, which Dmitry shared, you can benefit from building tests and CIs and deploys using GitHub Actions with InterSystems IRIS. Yeah. So any more questions? So if you don't have questions, we can say thank you to Dmitry.
Okay.
Oh, no more questions, yeah? Okay, I think this was very helpful webinar. Thank you, Dmitry, very much. We found how to make coffee without any bugs today with the help of GitHub Flow, GitHub Actions, and InterSystems IRIS. So thanks everyone, and I hope you like our developer community webinar series. You are very welcome to have your own session about your products, about your solutions. So please request your webinars, and actually, we will send this recording to all the participants and along with materials from presenter, and also we will publish this video on developer community YouTube, and you are very welcome to ask your follow-up questions on developer community. And thank you for your attention. And we have questions, no? So we have a lot of thanks. Everybody likes your presentation today. Yes, and thank you. Stay tuned. Wish you to see you on developer community in our Discord channel and in our next webinar. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.